Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about a disaster at Bingham Canyon, the 1926 Highland Boy Snowslide. So, stay tuned.
What we're going to talk about today is the 1926 Highland Boy Snowslide. On February 15th, 1926, it started to snow. Now that year it was unusually severe. They claimed it was the heaviest snow in Utah's history, but it continued to snow for 3 days. On February 17th, 1926, around 8 o'clock in the morning, a snowslide came down Sap Gulch in Highland Boy, killing 39 people and injuring 15. The avalanche crushed everything in its path. McDonald's boarding house and 17 homes was destroyed. Bingham Canyon had its share of disasters, fire, snow and mudslides, but it seemed the Highland Boy area was prone to get the blunt of these calamities. Maybe it was the steepness of the canyon up here, or maybe it was the houses stacked on top of each other, or the fact that all the homes were made of wood. Anyway, it seemed like Highland Boy had their share of the disasters. We have some great pictures of this slide and then the aftermath of it. Here's a map of Highland Boy area, Carfork Canyon, and it shows you where Sap Gulch was, where that slide took place. Now there was about 200 workers from the Utah, Delaware, and Apex mines that helped with the rescue, plus the whole community pitched in. You see all the people on the ground in some of these pictures. Wow, they're just a lot of people trying to help out and trying to get this debris off these people in the snow. Now this picture was taken in 1925, and this is the Highland Boy area. We have some close-ups of this area up in Sap Gulch where the slide took place. You can see all the houses up here and the boarding houses. I have a few pictures of that, looking up in that canyon. That's kind of neat. Well, they called it a gulch. Now, later on that year, 1926, they'll be building the L-Line Bridge, and you'll see the foundations and stuff as they're digging out that snow slide. Now, there's a large house right here on the corner, and it has a nice lawn right here, and you can use that as a reference points of this area. And it was actually the house of the superintendent of the Highland Boy mine. So here's a few more pictures of that Sap Gulch, and then here's some later pictures of it, and you see everything was wiped out, and it will never be recovered from that avalanche right there. This picture was taken June 6, 1926, just after, months after that avalanche, and you can see that house right there with the lawn and the sidewalk going up it. And to the right of that is Sap Gulch, and you can see there's just nothing there. Another interesting thing is the boarding house where that Red Lopez shot and killed Juan Valdez in 1913 was located up in Sap Gulch. Now we have a video on that story about Red Lopez, and that's really interesting. You should check that out. So let's look at some of these pictures of this slide. I think it's just amazing that they had these pictures back in 1926. You see right there in the foundation of the L-Line Bridge they're building. Look how many people they have working trying to help dig this out. Look how much debris and everything is around here. Man, it just is something, I think. Now, they said many people were pinned and under the debris, and they were suffering with cuts and bleeding and broken limbs. And then they also said it complicated things. They had broken power lines and toppled stoves that started fires, and some actually was suffering from burns. You can see this pole right here is knocked down in the slide. I have different copies of the same pictures of this slide, but I just saved everything I could find. So I thought it was really interesting, all the pictures that was taken up here. Just look at some of these. And then here's a newspaper article of the slide. I guess it was pretty big news. Now some of these pictures are taken in the aftermath, and you can see this one right here, and this is the best one. And you see the foundation of the L-line bridge and the J bridge in the background, but look at all the destruction that did right there. Then they had the governor come up. His name was George H. Dern. Here's some pictures of him, and then looks like he's the second one from the left right here in this picture. And they also had dignitaries from the Red Cross up there looking at the disaster. The rescuers, they worked all into the night. They set up lights, and they just kept looking for people all during the night and the next day. The Highland Boy Mine office, just across the way, it was set up for emergency hospital. And these pictures it was taken later on that month, in February 18th, 1926. And it looks like it's up higher in Highland Boy, and they're looking at the amount of snow that was up in that gulch. And this is later picture of 1935, and you see how much snow you could get up in upper Bingham areas. Another interesting thing is the cemetery where they took some of the people to bury was down in Dry Fork Canyon, and that's down the canyon quite a ways. And here's a picture of it. You can see there's a tomb right there in the center of it. You can see all around it that grass area. But then here's a picture of them bringing the bodies over and burying these people here at the Dry Fork Cemetery. I think these are two great pictures, and glad we have them. Also in the background, on the other side of the mountain right there, you can see the old line of the low-grade line with the Denver and Rio Granville went up into the mine. We actually had a video on that also. But I think these are some great pictures of look at the old cars and stuff and what they're wearing. So that's the Snowslide up in Highland Boy, 1926.